John Redmond, General Secretary of the Association of Garda Sergeants and Inspectors. We've come to the end of your 35th Annual Delegate Conference here in Sligo. So as an overview, how do you feel conference went?
I think this was always going to be a difficult conference because we're in unprecedented times, I suppose. I've just taken up the role of General Secretary since last October. This is my first conference. I was anxious that a couple of things would happen. One would be, of course, that the conference would run professionally and smoothly. And the second would be that the delegates, who represent almost 2,000 members of sergeant and inspector ranks throughout the country, would be given a chance and would take the opportunity to let us and the executive know, and to let the people and the public know exactly what's happening in rural Ireland and in urban Ireland with regard to their members.
Members from the Kilkenny branch were mandated following an EGM earlier this year to withdraw from conference ahead of the Commissioner's and Minister Shatter's address to conference. What is the Association of Garda Sergeants and Inspectors' view on this withdrawal?
These people are elected branch representatives. Apart from working very hard in the Garda organisation and providing a professional police service, they also take on in their own time to provide a service to better the pay and conditions and welfare of the members that they represent in their area of Carlow Kilkenny. Their rights to walk out of the delegate conference is clearly enshrined. They have no problem. We have no problem with that. We support them taking that action, and there's no question on our behalf of their right to do that. They're absolutely mandated to do it. They're absolutely correct to do what they did.
What was your feeling and the feeling of the delegates following Minister Shatter address on Monday evening?
I suppose anger wouldn't be a strong enough word to express what our members were feeling. They were really, really annoyed with the way the Minister seemed to patronise the delegates and speak down to them. Several of them said that to me afterwards. They felt like they were being lectured as bold school children by the headmaster. They didn't like it. They didn't accept it. They showed their disappointment by not giving him the traditional warm welcome, by not giving him the traditional round of applause when he would be leaving conference, and they're certainly not engendered to him by what he said.
How was that in stark contrast to Commissioner Callinan's address last evening?
Well, Commissioner Callinan you know and we know that there have been ongoing difficulties between the members and senior management for some time with regard to our view that we needed the strong leadership and the assistance by Garda management at a senior level in what we were trying to do. We never expected the Commissioner, nor never wanted him to put himself in an awkward position. He is, after all, head of 14,000 members of the Garda organisation. He is, after all, directly accountable to the Minister for Justice and directly accountable to the government. So we certainly never wanted to put him in any position that would cause him stress. At the same time, he is the leader of an organisation of 14,000 people. These are people who are finding it very, very difficult to make ends meet in several ways. I have a stack of emails, I have a stack of phone calls, I've had a stack of text messages about people who simply are finding it very, very difficult to put food on the table, to put oil in their heating, to put diesel or petrol in their cars to get to work. They wanted the Commissioner at least to empathise with them, to show them that he knew and appreciated their difficulties. And he did that. He came to conference and he did that. And the delegates at conference were very, very pleased with the fact that he recognised the plight of our members.
He also came with some good news, firstly in relation to lifting the moratorium on recruitment.
Yes, and we're delighted to hear about that because we have been saying for some years that we need to keep fresh young people in terms of service in the Garda organisation, into the Garda organisation. We've lost nearly 2,000 people from the Garda in the last 3 or 4 years. We need to have those people in place, and there's no question about that. The rate for police people to members of the public across Europe has an average of 317. One police officer for 317 people. In Ireland, it's one police officer for 369. That's a huge difference. Something we've been saying for a long time. I'm delighted that that moratorium is being looked at and will be released, I hope, sooner rather than later.
In relation to the investment of €5 million towards the transport fleet, what is your response to that announcement?
No, I'll just let the final debate which dealt with transport. I heard the member speak about a car that they were given to the police station. It was an open sector state. It had 169,000 miles on the clock. They got it, and within 1 year, it had cost €16,000 to fix that car. 5 million is excellent. I want the 5 million spent in the correct way. I don't want in 10-year-old Opel Vectras being sent around the stations and 15 and 16,000 euro being spent on them to keep them on the road. Put them in the bin and give us some new cars.
A motion was passed yesterday in relation to restoring the Uzi submachine gun. What is your response to that motion, and what will happen now?
Well, we've been saying this as well. Our members are concerned as supervisors and of users of that machine gun. It has been in use for several years. It was always fit for purpose. I think Garda management, for financial reasons, decided, significantly, I suppose, to remove that from service and leave people with a sidearm, what we call a sidearm or a handgun. In our view, that's not the correct thing to do. We need to have our people protected. We need to have the public protected. The Uzi submachine gun afforded that level of protection. The Commissioner said that he has a well-resourced regional support unit in several areas throughout the country and a well-resourced and managed emergency response unit in Dublin City. He does. They are professionally trained officers. They are highly trained. They are highly professional. They are significantly armed with the best international weapons that are available on the market. However, they don't provide the cash escorts that ordinary detectives provide. They don't be the ones on special duties. The people who normally would have used and held the Uzi submachine gun, and therefore they are well resourced, but they're not available to do all this work. If the Commissioner is going to let them do all that work, excellent. We won't need the Uzi submachine gun.
Finally, John Redmond, your delegates will be retiring and retreating back to the 31 branches nationwide with messages from yourself, from the National Executive, from Conference. What is your final message to the 2,000 strong membership that you represent?
I want to say that I'm encouraged by their attendance. I'm encouraged by the way they got involved in the debates here. I'm encouraged by the work that they do on behalf of the members for no extra money and take on the hassle and the hardship that is now part and parcel of the role as branch representatives. I'm delighted that they came here. We've had frank exchanges of views. That's our business. That's what we do. We discuss in real terms how to better the pay, conditions and welfare of the members we represent. I'm delighted that we have them on board. They give significantly of their own time. I'm delighted that they're going back. I suppose re-energised, I hope re-energised. In spite of the difficulties that we face, we have regrouped. We're telling government, and we want government to listen and listen very carefully. We are unique in Irish society. We do not have the right to strike. We do not have the protection of the Industrial Relations Act. Our people are doing what they're doing as best they can under the circumstances. We appreciate the public support. The government has to start listening to us. We have no negotiating rights with regard to our pay. The only group in society that's not protected in such a way. We need those rights and we need them now.
Thank you, John Redmond.